Hello again, Flosstube fam. It's the Dace Man here. My name is Dace. My pronouns are he, they. I am back again for my August update, and I have a whip pile bigger than the size of my head. So without further ado, we're going to go straight into top down and start checking these out. I have a little surprise for us this time. I got some hardware so I can do this without having to edit anything in post. Ah, exciting. So this is the Eeveelutions Possibilities Rainbow. It's the piece that I work on every single month, and I add 1.5% every single month. The last time you saw this, I was at 79% because I filmed a little bit later into the month. Since then, I've added 1%. We're at 80% now, only 20% left to go. Not much to say on this one. We've added all of Espian's head now, and next month I'll add another 1.5%, about 6,000 stitches going down here. We'll have a fair bit of the Espian body, neck maybe, and quite a lot of background. We might even hit a little bit of Sylvian down there as well. So for now, I'm really excited. The milestone was really good, 80%, 4/5 done. Just 1/5 left to go. That shouldn't be too bad. We'll just crack on with that as normal. Really not much to say on that one. Our second focus project is a Meeting of Tangled Paths, and this month I can show you all the progress. It's all on one page. I added a whole bunch of subjects this month, so a bit confetti heavy, but at least we're starting to see something exist in the picture. We'll be moving into the next page next month. We'll only have a little bit down here to do. I add 1.25% to this every month, which is about 4,500 stitches. So that's more than half a page. So we're almost getting to a point where I'll end up getting 2 pages in 2 months because of the way the few extra stitches add up over the page. We're getting very close to a page finish at the end of the month. Very exciting. But yeah, that is our Tangled Paths progress. We got it to 25%, another really exciting milestone. Quarter done. We just have to do that 3 more times. Get through a heck of a lot more green and beige background, but that's a problem for the later base as far as I'm concerned. For now, this is good progress. I'm happy with it. I'm excited to see these birds. I did actually have one little issue. I realised one of these threads didn't look right, and I had to frog and restitch because it was in the wrong colour, but we got over it. We moved on. I look forward to seeing this piece a little bit more this month. Our next focus project is, of course, Raven God. There we go. So with Raven God, I add about 4% every month, which is also about 4,500 stitches. And both of these projects are artwork by Stephanie Puiman Law. This month on Raven God, I added my 4% in this area here. A little bit of stuff trailing down as well. There are a lot of kind of pinks and a couple of purples in this corner, but quite a lot of sort of drab colours, brown, grey, beige, but with a couple of little exciting colours. We've started to work up the detail in the tree in this top right corner. I got it from 32% to 36.09%. I don't really know where I'm going to work on this next month. I think I will figure that out when I pull it out. I might feel inclined to keep going here, or I might fancy going back down here. I might want to fill in some stuff here. There's another bird to do that starts to come in here. That might be something nice after doing quite a lot of background the last few months, but we'll see. I'm just happy that I got through the 4% this month, because I'm tent stitching this and I don't enjoy the tent stitching very much, but I'm very determined to stitch it because that will be going to my very good friend Sketch when it's done. I'm determined to get it to him. So that's Raven God, 36%. Happy with that, just about. The next projects we're going to look at is Whip Go. So I actually only have one Whip Go project this month. However, I only have one Whip Go project because I took a Wednesday out to look after my dog. And if you've been here before, you know that when I'm with my dog, I work on New Normal by Long Dog. So I've kind of got a substitute Whip Go project as well. So the actual Whip Go project is Memento Mori. A lot of people were excited about this when I showed it on my initial Whip Parade, because it is full coverage black work, which is made up of all backstitch. Urban Stitch has charted this from a piece of artwork, and it's an absolute nightmare, and she knows it. I'm fairly good friends with Urban Stitches. She's absolutely wonderful, and she is a huge fan of fudging over frogging, which I am too. However, this month I worked up a good section of this lamp, and I filled in this area of background, only to realise I'd accidentally missed a row up here. I started again down here in the correct place, so I had to frog approximately that much and restitch it, but I did it. It was my homework to get done before I filmed this, and I did manage to do it. I don't know when this will come out again, but I do believe it has another Whip Go, so it should get another 2 Wednesdays of progress at least. It's also on my full coverage Friday whip wheel. It's the only project that is on both, so it has a really good chance of coming out again, as you know, compared to all my other projects that aren't on the like regular project rotation. So hopefully next time we work on this, I might carry on and finish the lamp, or I might go over to the skull. Like, I haven't decided yet, but this is on a 14 count Ada, and it's stitched mostly 2/1, but also partly 1/1, so there's like a density in the stitches which add to the shading effect. But I was happy with that, because I actually got into this time. Sometimes I struggle when I have to pull this out, and I'm like, oh, do I really want to? But this time I actually really got into it, and I feel really positive about the future of this piece. So hopefully it's been nice for you lot to see that one again. It has been a while. But that is Momento Mory by Urban Stitches. Oop. And like I said, we had a little chance to play with New Normal, because I took it to my mum's to look after the dog, but then I also replaced a stream with it as well. So I got from 23.81% to 30.29% on this. Wiggle that out a bit. What did I do? I added most of this bubble here, I think, especially the stuff underneath the first solid area. And then I also moved down and started stitching this huge bubble here. I made so many mistakes. I had to frog and restitch quite a bit of this. I had to do some surgery on it to pull some stitches out, put some in. I am stitching this in Nightcrawler's... no. What's the thread company name? Night Stalker's Calling. Bloody hell. Night Stalker's Calling by Birdie. It's called Fragile Ego. It's a silver colour, has a very light variegation, and I am stitching it on this fabric that I got from Coffee Crafts. It's a 46 count, one of a kind. It's really nice. I actually managed to cut the excess fabric off this time. This half of the fabric is a lot more of the dark blue colour, and the other half of this fabric is a lot more of the brighter green tones that don't really show up very well on camera, but that'll be great for another, maybe a Halloween sampler piece or something. But yeah, I was quite happy with that, because I wasn't really planning to bring it out, and I still added 6.5% or so to it. So yeah, nice little bit of progress on New Normal there. Any excuse to pull out a long dog, quite frankly. So those... oh no, wait. I forgot. We've got 100 owls. No, we don't have 100 owls. That's for next time. I'm a lying liar who lies, we've established this month. More on that later. We're going to move on to full coverage Friday projects. So this month we had the pleasure of seeing Epic Pokemon Gen 3. And we got this from 2.85 to 3.4%. So we only had one Friday on this, but I managed to add A little bit of Latius, which is nice. I think we did a bit more on Deoxys to clean him up, and I did some background as well. I like to try and get a little bit of background in before stream, just so that, like, eventually it'll be done. Like, a little bit of background, then Pokemon on stream. Try to get a nice balance of that. But that is where Pokemon Gen 3 is at. This is a huge project, and as you can see, we are very much only in the beginning stages of it. But every time it comes out, I get excited for it, it plays me up, and then I put it away going, okay, maybe it'll be better next time. Honestly, the amount I had to frog and figure out on this is unreal. But I think we've got past the tricky stages on this now, and it's going to be okay from now on. I'm sure of it. It's got to be better next time. I don't know where I'll work on this next time. Again, I'll try to get a bit of background in. Maybe keep working on Latius, see what starts to come in over here. But that's a problem for another day as well. But that was our Lord Libidon Epic Pokemon Gen 3. Full coverage Friday, then pulled up Book Dragon, which it's still very much a pesky new start. There is not a lot to this. I had it at 0.4%, and it's now at 0.98%, so it's not even 1% done yet, still. But we got a full coverage Friday on it, so I'm going to show off what we managed to do. A little bit of background, a little bit of blue background. We moved into the really dark colours here. We added a little couple of sparkles, a few stars I suppose they're supposed to be, and then started to move back into some lighter colours again. This one is charted by Pain Free Crafts. I'd love to have more to say about it, but for now it's just a bit of blue. Happy with that because it's moving forward. That's the first time I'd pulled that out since I started it as well, so yeah, we can be happy with that. It was a nice change. And then full coverage Friday, we did a session on Raven God, which I've already shown you, and then you won't believe it. You won't believe what the whip wheel once again picked. The fan favourite, Mr. Pod. Pod was once again picked by the whip wheel to come out for full coverage Friday, and what we managed to do, also charted by Pain Free Crafts, there we go, we managed to add, well, we went from 45.43% to 47.09%, so added like 1.5% pretty much. And my progress was mostly in this orange background, oranges and browns, but I also added a little bit to the owl as well. Unfortunately, the owl stitching is very white on white, it's hard to see, but, you know, we added a good 1,000 stitches or so. So, more pod the better, quite frankly. I do want to finish this next year. I'm going to make a point of trying to bring it out for community craft-alongs and stuff like that. So, yeah. Pod, everyone loves Pod. We still don't know what he's seen. He's seeing something, and we respect that. We respect that of Pod. Yeah, I was really happy that he got pulled out, because like I said, progress on him's good, because I do want to finish him, and can't be mad whenever Pod's about. He's good vibes. The next things I have to show you are the special long dogs. They've been kind of teased over on the right hand side today. So we've got our Tiny Stitches Sanssouci. Here we are. Not much to say about this one either, other than the fact that, as usual, it's a 56 count, 1/1, stitched in super fine sewn thread. It's a kind of deep purple colour on a pinkish linen. And I only got from 57.93% to 60.53%, but that does mean we passed the 60% mark, and I did also do some backstitch as well. But I think what we added was mostly sort of in this area here and this area here, so I added like these little two birds. There's a bird in the negative space there and a bird there. And I used up a thread to come down here a bit as well. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of very tiny backstitch that you probably can't even see that starts to come in up here, and then add these little details into the background. So while we didn't add much percentage wise, it felt like I got past an area on it, and for that I'm quite excited. We'll move forward now and see where we end up next month. I think the final whip is another fan favourite, Infatuation. Oop, gold. I'm not sure if this is gonna fit on the camera, it's not, but we have the Beaded Long Dog, which I took from 57.97% to 75.04%, so added a good chunk to this. And I'm very excited to announce that I fully plan on finishing this piece this month in September. By the end of October, by the start of October, this should be finished. So what I've added this month, quite a lot. I've added this motif, started this thing down here, and started on the hexagon here as well. Hexagon plus octagon. It's a very geometric pattern. It's kind of based on Quaker motifs, which is really cool. I'm stitching this in Delicas on a 28 count. The Beaded Long Dog, a lot of you really like it, and yeah, it's got that incredible shine on it when you flash it into the light because of the silver lined orange beads. And like I said, 75% done now, just a quarter left to go. I think there's essentially this top row again, so we're going to finish off these medallions, 1, 2, 3, and then there's 2 half motifs in triangles at the bottom, and that'll be it. And I'm excited to finish this, mostly because I have got another project lined up to start after this, so no spoilies, you'll just have to wait, but I'm very excited for it. It'll be a good 2 for 1. I get to finish this and start another beaded project. Excellent. So finally, the community craft along. This is what established me as a lying liar who lies. I got New Normal out for a stream, and I was like, I can't really stitch my mermaid because there are beads in the way where the hoop is supposed to go, and that was a lie. I actually just didn't want people to know how far ahead I was on this one. So I kept it a secret, and then we did a little surprise stream because Temptress of the Cursed Sea, I'm very, very excited to announce, is finished. I finished Temptress of the Cursed Sea. She does not show up very well in any camera lighting, no matter what I do. So just bear with me a second while I show you through what she's got going on. I started with like the head and face and hair. There was no beads or metallics to speak of, and then over the course of the month I just bashed it out. I bought a 3-foot scroll frame for the living room, plonked her on it, and just went for it. And there she was. She just appeared one day, I swear. If I go back to the full face, I might just be able to. She will be mirrored. I do apologise, but there she is in her full glory. Again, the colours do not show up very well on camera, even when I photograph her. Like, she's just stunning. I stitched her on a fabric that is discontinued because Chromatic Alchemy are no longer seemingly dying fabric at the moment, but it was called Bridget's Garden. It's green with hints of pink, but the pinks do not show up very well at all. But she's got like a little bit of a glowy pink aura about her. The purples in her tail, her greens, the way the beads sparkle. I really wish I could show this properly, because she has got some incredible details in her beadwork, in the colours in her tail, the metallics. There's some backstitch on her tail with some beads. But yeah, I was absolutely gassed when I finished this. I thought this tail fin was going to take forever and I wasn't going to finish it on time, so I kept it a secret in case I didn't manage it, but we did it. She's got some metallics in her. I did replace the suggested Crynex with Petite Treasure braids because I have a little collection of those. I prefer to use them. I haven't ever used a Crynex. I'm not against them. I like my Petite Treasure braid. However, the green one that I used was actually a rayon base and it was a pain to work with. The nylon based Petite Treasure braids, they're perfect, they're fine, I'm happy to work with them, but never again will I work in a rayon base Petite Treasure braid because they just flayed everywhere. It was a horrible mess. But that is Temptress of the Cursed Sea. It was my first ever Bella Filipina. It is a 28 count even weave. I chose an even weave because I know that they dye a little bit paler and I preferred the look of the Bridget's Garden for her on the more pale tones, so yeah, I'm really happy with that. I did put a picture on Instagram which kind of shows her a little bit better, but honestly, cameras and this girl just don't mix, what can I say? But that is all of the cross stitching. We're gonna take that down now. But I do have more stuff. I've got more stuff to show you. So I've been crocheting a fair bit. I actually spent a lot of time caking up yarn, and got really into crocheting, but the only thing I finished was this little doily. I had some pineapple yarn. It was just like a mini skein that my favourite yarn dyer, veganYarn.co.uk, threw in. Not affiliated or sponsored, I just absolutely love their yarns and their dye jobs. And she just threw this in once and it was just sat there not being used, so I quickly whacked a doily out of it. This pineapple base, it's very like rugged and fuzzy and it works really good as like a plant pot mat. You can put a good plant pot on that and it won't like ruin it or anything, because the fibre isn't really suitable for much because of its kind of coarseness. Like, you can't really wear it. So I was just like, I'll whack out a doily, and I did. I can't remember what pattern I used, it was just a free one. But I've got a little glass mushroom that I put on top of it for now. And yeah, quite happy with that because it was quick. It used up a little mini skein of yarn I had floating about, and it's got a quite nice kind of earthy look to it. That's all the crochet I managed to finish this month. I got 2 bits of lace done, one of which is this Christmas ornament. It's a Christmas star. I wonder if I can put something around the back of it. I don't think I've got any white paper left. Nope. Got no white paper to put behind it. I did put a picture on Instagram though. So it's a star by, I want to say Sue Lude Designs. I could have that wrong. I will post the link to the pattern below. So this was made using bobbin lace. It has a rose ground center, but I added some silver threads for, you know, a bit of Christmas sparkle. And it's got some heavy dense cloth stitch along the edge with a little bit of a pale yellow gold metallic in the edge too. This little thing is dangling here for good reason. I need to make a little fix to it yet, but the woman who runs the lace group wanted a Christmas decoration from all of us, and this was my contribution. It's a neat piece of lace, but it was very dense, took a long time for what it is. Shan't do it again. The other piece of lace is nowhere near as exciting. It was just a little sample that I thought I'd mock up because I wanted to experiment with using a thicker thread, because I have a bigger project in mind that I really want to try out. So I made a little sample in some crochet thread just to see how it would go, whether the spacing worked. I've got gridded paper like fine gridded paper 1mm squares, so I can like adjust the size of the gaps in future pieces if I want to. But that was just a little experiment, and I'm really excited to move forward with the bigger project that is leading towards. It's just got a little bit of half stitch ground and some spiders and a foot side. That was quite important because in lace, if you add a foot side, which is this extra sort of passive pair through the edge, you can use that to sew it to something else. So that's often how they would sew cuffs, sleeves, collars on to fabric to like edge the pieces of clothing. So that was an experiment, but I thought I might as well show it off. As for the finish feature this week, my finish from the past, I actually have 3. So the finish feature is where I show off projects that I finished previously. Because I've not had Flosstube for very long, I've got some finishes backed up, so I was just trying to show off what I've done, basically. We've got 3 here. It's the Witchy Stitcher planchettes. I don't have the picture for these, I'm afraid, but I will link them below if they are available to purchase. There are 6 in the pack. I've done 3 of them. But this is a cool thing that I can sometimes do when I can be bothered. I will make a cross stitch, finish it in a hoop, and then make the lace for the trim. In this instance, I actually wrapped the hoop in black thread and sewed it to it, but I've decided to start just sewing them to the fabric now. And I can add a little hangy thing so it can become a hanging decoration. Yeah, there were 6 in the set, and I did the alien, the little heart and moon, and the rainbow. So the cool thing about these is I made the lace out of the same DMC colours that are in the project. So for this one, I picked the green out of the alien and added that to the lace. In this one, I picked the orange, and for this one, I believe I picked one of the pinks or a purple. So this one's quite blue, pink, purple in the trim. So that was really cool. I also used a metallic thread to do the worker stuff. So the black thread you see there is actually metallic as well. And the fabric I used is another Chromatic Alchemy, and therefore no longer available fabric. It's I believe it's Nox, and it's an opalescent. I want to say 28. I think I bought that for one of my Bella Filipinas, and I just had some excess so I could use it. But those are great. They're a really fun thing that I can do. They're a lot of work because you're not only doing the cross stitch but then making the lace, and this lace has 18 repeats, so I had to do this like 54 times, this one repeat, because I did 18 3 times. But really cool little finish feature this week. I thought I'd show those off because they're pretty cool. But that's those. We can now move into everyone's new favourite segment. Yeah, the community finish parade. So the community finish parade this month, has some pretty cool stuff. We've got Crow coming in very hot straight away with Martha. So Martha was stitched 201 on 14 count. She is the Mushroom Tea Ghost by Raven Coven. And the cool thing about this is Crow used some variegated Night Stalker's Call-in thread and Petite Treasure braid in the mushroom to give it this little variegated and sparkly effect, which is very cool. I like that. And Crow also finished Beetle on a Mirror by Nerdy Stitchy Witchy. 1/1 full cross on 28 count black Murano and called for DMC. This is really pretty. The colours in this are gorgeous. They're like really bright pastel-y pinks and It's just a really, really nice project. I personally would really like to do the snake on the mirror one, so that's inspired me a little bit. Tori finished a piece from Cross Stitch magazine by Cheryl McKinnon. It's a seasonal piece. It's very, very cool. Let's have a little look. So we've got sort of like a Halloween village scene with, I believe, a little poem in there. That's absolutely stunning. I've watched this since it was very young. I watched this piece grow, and I was really, really excited to see that Tori finished it. Absolutely stunning finish. We have a deco with Sagittarius. It's a kit by DMC, and it has a 12 threads in it. This is really cool. A deco works really quickly and bashes out pretty sweet little projects. It's very cool. I like that it's got a toile in it. I like the dark blue fabric, night sky. Very good, very good. We've got Nananara coming in with Passive Aggressive Raven. This one made me laugh. Never mind, quaff the Passive Aggressive Raven. So it was a freebie from Lindy Stitches in a newsletter. It's so cool. I love that. +1 cat hair. I'm not sure where the cat hair is, but apparently there's a cat hair in there. Lovingly processed into the cross stitch. Okay, so Sketch came in with a couple of finishes this month, and these are very exciting because this finish is another one by Urban Stitches. It was stitched on an 18 count oatmeal Ada, and it is the Moonlit Market stitch along. So this stitch along is a series of bottles with interesting ingredients from the Goblin Moonlit Market, and I watched Sketch stitch most of these up on stream, and it was a good adventure. My favourite is Frog Breath. This little guy. Absolutely fantastic. What a finish. All the little details. Every one of these jars has got a little something going on, as well as the actual fill-in. So that was fantastic. Loved watching that. We got another Urban Stitches. They were two mates. Stitched in Bradley's balloons. And the ghosts are glow in the dark. Look at that. Little bookmark. I like this little guy. I don't know what he's up to, but kind of into it. Oh, he's giving his tomb-mate a flower. That's what he's up to. I watched Sketch stitch quite a bit of this one up as well. Such a sweet little pattern. I love that. And then finally, Sketch has created a Make No Mistake by Imagined Landscapes. Absolutely love this. So this was a knitted project. Knitted kind of top down. This hat was worked up a little while ago, and he pulled it back out and he finished it, and it's just great. This beard, the way this beard was made, I can't describe it. I'm not going to try to explain how this beard was made, but trust me, it was complex and I was very impressed. So that's super cute. I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. So that's the stitching this month. I'll be back again hopefully next month with another chunk of progress on the usual stuff, some Whip Go Wednesday stuff and some full coverage Friday stuff, a finish feature, maybe some more community finishes if we are lucky. I'd like to thank everybody who contributes to the community finish, because like you don't have to do that, and I really appreciate being given the opportunity to show off all the good stuff that you do. So with that being said, I'm gonna head off now, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Alright, have a good month of stitching, people. Daceman out.